Talk louder.
Okay. Update on all the Mike Israetel. Um, Solomon. That's the guy's name. So when all that happened with it, of course, Mike lied at first, and then his lies got exposed, and he actually had to come out and say, I lied. And I have a tendency to lie. Like, he had to come clean because it was really coming back to bite him, and it made him look even worse. And what happened was, before he came out and said, hey, I lied, a lot of people that had already been kissing Mike's ass and for some reason thought of him as like a cash cow. So what started happening was all these grifters, these fitness influence grifters, figured out that Mike was making a lot of money, and Mike was making all his money because he was a PhD science medicine guy or whatever he was calling himself. So then people that didn't have that degree realized, if I do a video or content with Mike, then my views will go up and my income will go up. Like, they were basically using him, and he was doing vice versa.
Like clout.
Yeah, he's working with all the people,
Yeah.
pretending to be the Dr. Mike, and then all the people are wanting to use Dr. Mike because he's the doctor. And it's all a grift, it's all a scam the whole time. So guys like Solomon Nelson actually stand on principles and like how things should be taken, and there shouldn't be just a person, it should be a certain standard, and we should all hold to that standard. And all these people, another big thing that goes on that fitness influence in fitness industry in general is science-based lifting versus just bro lifting. Like just grunt and gorilla, go for it kind of stuff, or science-based. So that has really been divided. And the science-based guys think that they know best, and by the science and papers and literature, they will show you how to grow the most muscle. And then the other guys are in their own league and just do what feels good and blah, blah, blah. And of course, with everything, there's a line with it. But the science-based guys are like the Mike Israetels, who claim to hold a standard, but then aren't holding a standard. Like, they're obviously just doing whatever is going to get them the most views and the most money, basically. It all boils down to money. And Mike even talks about money and how rich he is and his butlers, and he's joking, but he's also not joking. He does have a big house in Michigan, and like, he is financially set kind of thing. He definitely does very well off of all the things that he has going for himself. But like I was saying, they're not holding to a standard. So Solomon's just trying to call them out. Like, you say you're a science-based lifter, but then you're not, you have no integrity, you're not actually going by scientific standards, whatever those are. And then there's other guys that are in the science-based lifting, like Jeff Nippert and whoever else. I mean, there's a bunch of them. I don't really know all of them by name because I'm not really into the science-based stuff. I think it's interesting, but at the end of the day, it's stupid to me. But Jeff Nippert is a short little guy. He's a little weaselly little guy, and a lot of people looked at him before Mike came on the scene. He doesn't have a degree or anything, but they looked at Jeff Nippert as the science-based lifter guy. And he's like literally 5'2". He's like a little guy, but he's big, and he's been doing content for a really long time. So he has a big base, and for whatever reason, he attached himself to Mike. And him and Mike kind of had whatever relationship going. But Jeff Nippert, when all this stuff happened with Mike, basically defended Mike, stood up for Mike, and then he was going around leaving comments about Solomon, the guy who exposed Mike, in a negative way. And then there's this whole backstory of Jeff Nippert actually hired Solomon to help him with his fitness program. So Jeff Nippert, the science-based lifter, was selling programs that he claimed to be science-based and the best out there or whatever, and they weren't. Like, Solomon was able to look at them and be like, you have people doing way too much volume, the numbers don't make sense, they don't add up, blah, blah, blah. And he reached out to Jeff, and Jeff agreed and said, will you help me? So on 2 different occasions, Jeff paid Solomon to help him with his own stuff.
Funny.
So he was like a paid, basically Jeff Nippert was a client of Solomon's. But when all this stuff happened with Mike, Jeff deleted his comment. He had some comment that he made on Solomon's video. He deleted his comment and then basically asked Solomon to remove Jeff's name from anything associated with Solomon. Because Solomon had, like, in his bio or in his page or whatever, that he had worked with Jeff Nippert, and Nippert said, I don't want to be associated with you. Can you delete that? And it's like, well, why? Why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense, because you raved and praised, and he had all these texts that they had gone back and forth, and comments where they went back and forth where Jeff praised Solomon and his knowledge and his work and all that. And now it's kind of flipped because Solomon went after Mike. Jeff has stepped in and kind of gone after Solomon. Like, Solomon didn't need to do what he did. And I think it's kind of, I forget the word. Use some word that is just like, okay, dude, you're the one going around claiming to be the science-based lifter, but actually you don't care about the science because this guy exposed this huge fraud and who is claiming to be a science-based guy and is basically just scamming people, and you're scamming people, and you're just deleting your comment. You're trying to distance yourself from Solomon when really Solomon helped you, and there's no reason for you to be doing what you're doing. Like, Solomon didn't even mention Jeff in any of this, but Jeff inserted himself into the mix by doing what he was doing, and now it's kind of blown up in Jeff's face where everybody's like, oh, this guy is such a little weasel and
stupid for him to do that.
Yeah, just
he could have just stayed in the background.
You should have just been quiet. It didn't matter that you were a past client of Solomon's. It's just like, unless you're trying to kiss Mike Israel's ass.
That's all it sounds.
Or you have some kind of
blackmail
to Mike that if it comes out with Solomon, you think it's going to blow up in your face. When it's like, if anybody with a brain would be looking at the situation and being like, I want to get as far away from Mike Israel as I can.
Yeah.
That's what all these people need to distance themselves from Dr. Mike, the fraud, the sham, the guy who, and I say fraud, sham, he does have a company, he does provide some help, he does have bodybuilders that are under his company that are successful and blah, 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 but he's not who he says or claims to be. And he's not this prestigious Dr. Mike Israel who can get anybody in shape and so on. It's not the case. He's just another guy who runs a business that has flaws. But the thing is, instead of leaning into that, saying, I do have flaws, I'm not the best, but I do run a quality company, blah, blah, blah. Instead, he's claiming that he's basically the fitness god and everybody bow down to me when he's not. So that's what Solomon exposed, and then for whatever reason, Jeff had to attach himself, and now he's having the same thing where it was like Mike Israetel and then Jeff Nippert under him as his little protege, even though Nippert has been around longer than him. But it's just the way that it worked out.
Because
the
he
way
got
that
the
people
higher
see
clout
it.
faster,
Yeah,
probably.
The
Yeah.
way that people see it and all that. And now it's like those two guys have fallen from grace. And then there's other guys in the mix that stood up for Mike right away. There's this one guy in particular that I've never heard of, but he made a 20-minute video just bashing Solomon.
Does he get a lot of
he's
views?
Wrong, and I don't know. He doesn't get that many views. He's not as big of a guy in the space.
Okay.
But he's a voice and he does have a following.
Yeah.
But he stood up for Mike, and it's really just come back to bite him in the ass. But he's not making an apology. He's not correcting himself at all, even though it's been exposed that his video that he tried to expose Solomon is complete bullshit. It makes no sense. There's no reason, because Solomon definitely dotted his I's and crossed his T's. Like, he made sure what he did was 100% correct.
Accuracy.
Yeah, he's very accurate, very thorough. And that's the kind of guy this Solomon guy is. Like, he's not going to miss anything. He's definitely knew what he was doing. This has been methodically planned out. And that's kind of what Nippert was saying. Like, the fact that you had to do this and...
Do they want to
kill
harm
yourself-
him, this Solomon guy? Would you say he has like a threat on his life for what he's
No,
doing? No, it's not
no.
that bad. I don't know how deep it all goes.
No, and I mean, even Jeff Nippert... and this is kind of funny because the comment that I left, but Jeff Nippert, a while ago, like 6 months or 8 months ago, he kind of went after a bro guy. So, like I said, Jeff Nippert's 5'2", he's built, but he's a little guy. So he kind of made a comment to this guy, or indirectly aimed towards this guy who's
Alpha.
named Mike Van Wyck.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Van Wyck is huge. He's like 6'4", probably pushing 250, 280, like a big guy. And he's more into the bro type of lifting. Mm-hmm. He was a bodyguard and so on. But he made a video and in like a sneaky little Weasley way directed it towards Mike Van Wyck, how he's a science-based lifter, and for him, the way that this guy does it is not right, and just like kind of did it in a weird way like that. Well, Mike Van Wyck and Jeff Nippert ran into each other at the same gym, and Mike Van Wyck was like, oh, I actually will hurt you. And he did. He went up and he grabbed him by the neck, like throat punched him in the neck and threw him down and then pushed the cameraman.
So did he get assault
He was like,
charges?
Yeah, he got charged with assault and like
That happens a lot in
and
this industry.
legal trouble and all this. But to him, it was worth it. Like, you don't do that. You don't talk shit about a man like me. I
Yeah.
don't accept that. You're not going to do that. I don't care if you're a science-based lifter. Like, I'll wreck your day.
Yeah.
So, but no, this whole thing with these guys is not that extreme. And I wrote on Solomon's video about Jeff Nippert that Solomon smacked him down harder than that skinhead guy, because Mike Van Wyck's he's got shaved head, kind of looks like a skinhead. But no.
I think that went super viral, that attack, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was
remember you
very
showing
big.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You showed me all that. I remember.
Probably
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. That's what I was picturing this whole time, that whole situation. You just got a bunch more work, by the way. Somebody wants popcorn ceilings redone. That's cool. And then somebody's asking what your favorite color is.
That's the lady that I was at yesterday.
So is there anything else?
The Halloween people.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it off the top of my head without going way too deep. It's people that stood up for Mike are now getting backlash, and it's anybody who's staying with Mike either needs to keep their mouth shut and just wait till all this blows over, or if you're gonna stand up and defend the guy, be prepared that other people are gonna be like, oh, you're associated with
Yeah.
Mike Israetel.
So it'll
It'll be
become
one
more
of those
cliche to
things where
not.
It'll be news for a while and eventually blow over, and he'll still be Dr. Mike and blah blah blah. But at least the information will be out there, and that's what a lot of people have said in the comments, that I don't really care that Mike didn't pass his PhD, or his PhD paper was complete garbage or whatever. Like, he could've
It's like people
failed-
don't care that
he
Trump's a
could've failed
felon
elementary
30-something
school. Like, I
times.
don't care,
Yeah.
kind of thing is what a lot of people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. Nobody needs to be concerned with him. That it doesn't reflect the company that he runs now. But to Solomon's point, it does. It's like this guy,
The foundation.
has been claiming to be this thing that he's not, and been so vocal about it, and I'm Dr. Mike and da 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 da, and it's like, okay, but your work is trash. So it just makes you think, what else is this guy doing? And then when it all went down, instead of right away coming out and saying, yeah, I screwed up, or yeah, that was my paper, I could have done better, and blah blah blah, he tried to lie about it.
Typical
Cover it up.
narcissism.
Maybe this is probably not.
You're
a
not
good
a
idea.
skateboard right now, honey. That's cute though. Okay. You get hurt?
That's it.
I got hurt. Okay. Thanks for viewing. We're gonna go. Kids need attention. Bye.